Hello, hola. Welcome back to Color and Canvas. Today we're going to be doing a swipe, but we're going to put two techniques together and see how it'll turn out. I ran across a wonderful artist on Facebook the other day named Josie Lewis Art. That's the name of her page. And she was doing blobs of paint and finger painting across in different directions. And because we do pouring and use other ingredients, I thought we would try that with the swipe and some silicone. So, complete experiment. You're going to see me try it for the first time. If it's a complete nightmare, so we've learned something from it. But let's give it a go. Let's just give it a go and see what happens. So I'm going to prepare our swipe paint first. All of these paints here, these are my mixed colors. I use different brands of paint, mix them together until I get the color that I like, and then I mix them together with my pouring medium, which is 50% Floetrol, 30% Gluol, and 20% water. Most of these paints are like Arteza and Deco Art. This is just titanium white. You can see it's a really thick consistency. And I mix my bottled paints pretty thick because I can always pour them in a cup and add some pouring medium or water to thin them, and then I always have colors that are ready. So that's what I like to do. So I'm just going to put that paint in the cup. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in here to thin this out because we don't want our swipe paint to be thick. Swipe paint should always be thinner than what you're using on your base. So let's just give that a little stir, thinning it out nicely. And the other thing is that silicone will thicken your paint as well if you're using it. So if you want a thin swipe paint, make sure it's very thin before you add your silicone, and then check it again after. So that's super thin, exactly how we want it. I'm going to use some of our Artist Loft silicone oil, just a couple of drops because this is a very small cup. And there we go. I'm going to stir that in. I'm going to stir it again before we use it. But there we are. See, it's thin, and I'm going to check the consistency again before we actually use it because it can thicken up while it's sitting there. All right, put the lid back on. And I'm going to put a little bit of base coat down here. Just a little bit. It's going to be a thin base, not a thick one. And I pre-mix my base coats too. Just spread that out. I'm going to scrape it away from the side. I actually didn't want it to go that far because I don't want our colors to get diluted by the white because we're already going to be swiping with white. So the two edges where I'm going to put our paint, I'm not going to put any base coat, but I'm going to put it on the other areas. Again, we're just kind of making this up as we go, having been wonderfully inspired by somebody else's art, and maybe we can make something really cool happen. I'm just smoothing it out. All right, that should be, hopefully, fine. I hope so. We don't really know. It's part fun and part nervous when you try something different, but that's also how we learn. Okay, so there we go. Let's get that started. Let's get some colors down now. And I'm trying to think of, I'm going to overlap some of these colors, I think, so that we can get a lot of different things happening. We have some of our orange. I think I'm going to put a little bit of yellow down so we can have a bit of a peach thing going here. I'm going to overlap our red. And I'm going to overlap our purple with the red too, and hopefully get a little bit of violet going there. Oops, I think there's a blob in the paint there. Yeah, these paints have sat for a while, and some of them may have solidified a bit, but that'll be just fine. Okay, and we'll do some blue. We'll overlap, so maybe we can get a little bit of periwinkle happening there. Some light blue. Some green. And then we'll just keep our rainbow going one color at a time. I definitely have to strain that purple again. We have problems with our purple paint. It's going to be just fine for this purpose because I got the lumps out. Okay, and then we'll go across that area as well. Oh, I was supposed to leave that empty. Oh, see? I've forgotten already what I was doing, and I better put some other color down here. I was going to work from that direction down, and I just kind of got messed up. So let me add some yellow. We're going to finish this down here. And what I will do is touch up that corner later. I'm going to scrape off that purple, and I will paint it by hand with whatever we want to do with that at a later time. No worries at all. Okay. And let's begin our other paint now. I think I want some yellow at the beginning of it here. Just gonna scrape that off. Here's our difficult purple again. Wow, what is going on? There we go. I think we got rid of all the bad paint. Just a dot of red on the end. There we go. We have our colors. It's going to be great. I hope. It's going to be great. Okay, I'm going to move these aside because I'm working in a very, very small space today. Because we still don't have our vacation home ready. I'm still waiting. So I don't have an art room. I'm in the spare room at our Airbnb on my folding table. Just trying to create and have some fun. Because I love doing this. Okay, here we go. So what I will do is test our paint again. It's still thin. It has all that silicone in. It's perfect. So I'm going to dip into this cup if it's big enough. If it's not big enough, I'm going to put it down on the counter because this is what I want to use. This will work. See that? I'm just going to dip into the paint with the silicone and swipe. So let us begin. Let us just go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move this over. I'm going to swipe across here I'm just going to clean that. Let me grab a paper towel because we're going to use this swipe sheet over and over again. So I'm just going to clean it off, dip again, and then swipe in the opposite direction. Awesome. And just keep alternating our directions, picking up our different colors as we go. It's going to leave a bit of a white stripe. Who cares? Who cares? We're just trying something different. It doesn't matter. And now I've gone a little bit a little bit out of sync here. I'm not even straight anymore. Oh well, that's all right. Maybe I can overlap a bit and straighten it out a little bit here. There we go. I like that one. Last one will go kind of over the edge here. In that direction. We'll have to do a double on this edge. Well, that's it. There's our experiment, and now we have that corner left with the purple, and I think I'm just going to give it a little swipe, a little rainbow swipe in the corner. I like it. It's kind of neat looking. I want to tidy up those edges. Always when you swipe, it's a little interesting on the edge, to say the least. So let's just see whether we can, let's see if it tilts. It shouldn't. There's barely any paint on here, so that's good. So I'm just going to just touch at the edges and encourage that paint to go over the edge. I like it. We're going to leave it. Let's see how that dries. Let's see if our silicone does anything more. I grab my torch. Torch it just a bit. There really shouldn't be any amount of air bubbles in here, but we'll get rid of the few that there are. All right, thanks for watching our little swipe experiment here, and I will show you the dried one at the end of the video, and I'll be curious to see how it comes out myself. And I encourage you, go paint something, experiment. If you see something another artist has done, maybe that will inspire you to try something yourself. And just enjoy and have a great day. Bye-bye.